Welcome to Marvel Tunes! In this video I will be talking about Avatar, The Legend of Korra, which is a sequel series set in the same universe as Avatar, The Last Airbender. It follows the journey of Korra, the new Avatar after Aang, as she learns to master the elements and navigate the challenges of a rapidly changing world. The series explores themes of balance, identity, and the evolving dynamics between benders and non-benders, offering a rich narrative that captivates audiences through its blend of action, spirituality, and compelling character arcs. This series consists of 4 books: Air, Spirit, Change, and Balance. I will be giving a complete recap of Book 1 Air, from start to finish, in detail. The story begins 70 years after the events concluding Avatar: The Last Airbender. The Order of the White Lotus locates the new Avatar, Korra, in the Southern Water Tribe. Korra masters the elements of water, earth, and fire by the age of 17. For her own safety, the Order of the White Lotus has kept her under lock, but she is irritated by her seclusion from the outside world, and can't wait to start her training with Master Tenzin, the son of Katara and Aang, and the only airbending master. Tenzin serves on the United Republic Council, which was established as the new and 5th nation by Avatar Aang and Fire Lord Zuko in the interim between the 2 series, and he is forced to put off her training due to turmoil in Republic City, and leaves for the nation's capital. Korra also decides to leave for Republic City on Naga, her massive polar bear dog. They hide inside a cargo vessel and reach the nation's capital. While looking for the Air Temple Island, she gets involved in a fight with some local triads, and is taken into custody by Toph's daughter Lin Beifong, who is in charge of Republic City's metal-bending police unit. Tenzin gets Korra out of custody, as the antagonist Amon is revealed to be the head of the anti-bender equalist movement. Korra begins airbending training with Tenzin on Air Temple Island, but gets frustrated by her inability to bend air. At night she sneaks out to Republic City's famous pro-bending arena, where she befriends 2 brothers, Mako, who is a firebender, and Bolin, who is an earthbender. They both compete in pro-bending matches. When their team's waterbender decides to leave, Korra steps up and joins the fire ferrets. However, Tenzin is against her competing in these pro-bending matches, but Korra decides to disobey his wishes and plays for the team. Eventually Tenzin realizes that pro-bending might actually help Korra with her airbending. Mako and Bolin are told by the tournament head that they are supposed to pay more money to enter the finals of the pro-bending tournament, so Bolin accepts a job with the Triple Threat Triad, and vanishes. When Mako and Korra discover that Bolin may have been hired by the Triads as extra force for an impending turf battle, they discover the gang's hiding place just in time to witness the Equalists seize it and kidnap Bolin. Korra and Mako gain access to an Equalist demonstration, where Amon, the group's leader, showcases his power to permanently remove each person's power to bend, on the Triads one at a time. Korra steams the whole building, allowing Mako to save Bolin before his bending is taken away, but they are followed by the Equalists. However, Naga comes to the rescue and they all escape. After learning about Amon's ability, Councilman Tarlok decides to create a task force to eradicate the Equalists and Amon. He tries to recruit Korra, but she refuses because she fears that Amon might take her bending away. Meanwhile, Mako gets into a small accident and meets Asami Sato, daughter of the richest man in Republic City and mechanical genius, Hiroshi Sato, who decides to sponsor the Fire Ferrets in the pro-bending tournament's finals. Tarlok throws a party in honor of the Avatar and Korra meets Hiroshi and Asami. The media storms Korra and she challenges Amon to a duel at Aang's Memorial Island, but she gets ambushed. Amon doesn't take her bending and he tells her that he has bigger things planned for her and leaves. Tenzin arrives to the scene and Korra starts crying in his arms. In between all this mess, Korra starts falling for Mako, but he is with Asami. Korra takes advice from Jinora, Ikki, and Pema, and decides to confess her feelings. After reaching the semifinals of the pro-bending tournament, Korra confesses her feelings, only for Mako to turn her down. She decides to hang out with Bolin to celebrate their win. There they have an unpleasant encounter with the Wolf Bats, the reigning champions of the pro-bending tournament. Later that night, Bolin learns that Korra has feelings for Mako and gets heartbroken. The next day, the Fire Ferrets play their semifinal, but the tension between the group makes it difficult for them to coordinate. Mako and Bolin get knocked out of the ring. However, Korra steps up and single-handedly reaches the final. The fire ferrets face off against the wolf bats in the final, which starts off well, but they cheat by using dirty tactics which are not called out by the paid referee. Eventually the wolf bats knock out the fire ferrets and win the championship. As the victors are announced, the equalists all over the arena start attacking all the benders and police. Korra and team are also attacked and get tied to a pillar. Amon shows up and takes the bending away from all the members of Team Wolfbat, then announces that non-benders are going to take over this city, and starts his escape. Pabu shows up and helps the gang escape. Korra decides to follow Amon, who is then followed by Lin. However, the Chi blockers aka the equalists starts to fight with them. During the fight the glass breaks and Korra starts to fall down. Lin decides to leave Amon and save Korra's life. The arena shuts down, so Mako and Bolin move into the Sato mansion. When Korra visits them, she hears implications that Asami Sato might be working with the equalists. She tells Lin Beifong and Tenzin, but upon their investigation they discover no proof. However, a mysterious source reveals that Sato keeps a covert factory beneath his estate, where he produces weaponry for the equalists. Korra, Tenzin, and Lin discover this underground factory, and when they try to investigate, they get ambushed by Orochi and equalists using massive war robots that Sato developed. Everyone gets defeated and all the officers are taken into custody, but Mako and Bolin show up with Asami, who decides to go against her dad to rescue Korra and the others. Officer Saikon replaces Lin Beifong as the chief of police, and he swears to support Tarlok's task force. Tarlok asks Korra to join him, but she refuses. At night Korra expresses her frustration as she is unable to bend air, nor is she able to help anyone. Her friends calm her down and they all decide to come together as the new Team Avatar is formed. They use police radio to patrol the city and track down the equalists. They all work together to hunt them down and capture them. However, Tarlok gets angry and asks them to stop their vigilantism and stay out of his way. He even imposes a curfew on all non-benders and gives the command to arrest any mob that defies the curfew. Korra tries to help and release the unarmed citizens of the city, but Tarlok arrests her friends for going against him. Later that night, Korra visits Tarlok in his office and he asks her to comply with his ways if she wants her friends to be released, but she criticizes his actions and compares him to Amon, which angers Tarlok and he attacks her. A fierce bending battle between the two takes place, as Tarlok showcases his waterbending, while Korra uses firebending and earthbending to gain the upper hand, and knocks him out through the wall. But the battle takes an unexpected turn when Tarlok reveals his dark secret, that he is a bloodbender, who can control human flesh by manipulating the water inside the body. With this ability, Tarlok captures Korra with ease and takes her outside Republic City. Next morning, Tarlok reveals that him and Korra were ambushed by the equalists, and Korra was taken captive. When Lin hears about this, she frees Team Avatar from custody, and they then make the plan to breach an equalist-run tunnel system, in an effort to locate Korra and Lin's missing officers. When they reach the end of the tunnel they find Lin's metal-bending officers, but an equalist reveals that they were not responsible for Korra's capture. Tenzin and the gang confronts Tarlok, then his assistant, who was present when Korra came to meet him, reveals that Tarlok is a bloodbender and he abducted Korra. Tarlok sees no other way, so he uses bloodbending on everyone and runs away. Meanwhile, Korra, stuck in a chamber, tries to meditate and contact Aang. She sees some visions from the past, where we see Aang, the previous Avatar, helping his friend Toph, the chief of police, to capture a bloodbender named Yakone and bring him to justice. Korra also sees Yakone using bloodbending on Sokka and everyone present in the courtroom during the trial and escapes, but Aang uses the Avatar state to catch him and takes his bending away. Korra realizes that Tarlok is Yakone's son. Amon shows up to the secret hideout and faces Tarlok, who tries to use bloodbending, but it doesn't work on Amon, and he takes away his bending. The equalists try to electrocute Korra, but she tricks them and escapes. Korra returns and informs everyone what happened at Tarlok's hideout, so Tenzin asks Lin to watch over his family while he goes to the council meeting. However, he gets ambushed by a couple of equalists, but he manages to defeat them all. Tenzin finds out that the other council members have been taken prisoner by equalists, who are waging a full-scale assault on the city with the help of Sato's most recent military inventions. Tenzin arrives at police headquarters, where he wires the United Forces, the Republic City's military, for assistance while Amon's airships bombard the whole city. Chief Saikon and other officers are apprehended by equalist mecha-tanks. Team Avatar arrives just in time to help save Tenzin and some other officers. Back at the Air Temple Island, Pema, Tenzin's wife, gives birth to their fourth child, while the equalist airships are approaching. Lin fights all the equalists by herself, however she gets overwhelmed and is almost defeated, but Tenzin's kids show up just in time to save her and defeat the invaders. Since Tenzin and his family are the last airbenders, they decide to escape, while Korra and gang decide to go into hiding. Lin sacrifices herself to protect Tenzin and his family and gets captured by the equalists. She refuses to give the whereabouts of the Avatar and loses her ability to bend. As Team Avatar descends into the city's sewers, General Iroh, the leader of a fleet of United Forces warships and the grandchild of former Fire Lord Zuko, responds to Republic City's request. Amon and his forces have taken over the city, and Team Avatar is hiding in an underground hobo camp waiting for Iroh and his fleet's arrival. However, the whole fleet is quickly rendered inoperable by equalist mines and constant bombing and missiles from planes. Iroh gets attacked and falls into the ocean. After saving Iroh from drowning, Korra and the others reunite. Iroh makes a plan with Bolin and Asami to attack the equalist airfield to stop their planes, while Korra and Mako decide to pursue Amon. After finding Tarlok imprisoned on Air Temple Island, Korra and Mako learn that Amon is his brother, both of whom are Yakon's sons, who escaped prison and fled to the North Pole. He started a family in Noatak, now known as Amon, was the firstborn. After learning that they were waterbenders, Yakon started teaching them bloodbending. Noatak, disturbed by his father's teachings, decided to go against Yakon's wishes to fight Tarlok and uses bloodbending on him, and runs away from home. Elsewhere, Bolin's group get electrocuted and captured by Asami Sato and the equalists, but Naga and Pab rescue them. Iroh jumps onto one of the planes and goes after the others. He uses lightning to bring down all the aircrafts. Bolin starts destroying the runways, while Asami faces off against her father. He almost kills her, but Bolin saves the day and Hiroshi starts running away, but Asami captures him. Mako and Korra decide to expose Amon as a water and bloodbender at the equalists' victory rally. However, he denies it and reveals his face, showcasing that he was burned by a firebender, then reveals that he has already captured Tenzin and his family, but Korra and Mako set them free before Amon can take away their bending. Tenzin blows away Amon and they all run away. Korra tries to create a diversion, so Tenzin and his family can escape. Amon follows Korra into a room and uses bloodbending on both Korra and Mako, eventually taking away Korra's bending. Mako uses lightning, knocking away Amon, and starts running away with Korra, but Amon catches them and starts to take away Mako's bending, but Korra, for the first time, uses airbending and blows Amon away through the window and into the ocean. Everyone sees Amon's true identity as he uses waterbending and his makeup falls off, and he runs away. Amon and Tarlok escape on a boat, but Tarlok, wanting to end everything, uses the electrified glove to blow up the boat. Elsewhere, Korra and gang go to see Katara, Aang's wife and the best healer in the world, but she is unable to restore Korra's bending. Korra cries and Aang shows up with a shadow of all previous avatars and restores Korra's bending. Mako and Korra confess their love for each other, as Book 1, Air comes to a close. If you like this recap, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to Marvel Toons, as there's more to come your way.